What's up, guys? Dustin Yewy here, and I'm here with some more NHL 15 info. So, Operation Sports was able to do NHL 15 hands-on. So basically, they wrote an article. I'll put that in the description, but I went through, made some notes, and they also have a couple notes at the end there, so I'm going to share those with you guys. Some interesting stuff about the gameplay and their initial thoughts. Obviously, they've played enough NHL to know what's good and what's not. So there will be just NHL 14 gameplay on the side here, but yeah, let's get into it here. Okay, so the first thing is the initial thoughts. So the upgraded models of the players, lighting, crowds, arenas, and NBC broadcast presentation all add immensely to the feel of the game. The most immediate thing that is noticeable with the new game presentation is the new camera angle. I think it's the same one, but it defaults to a slightly lower ISO angle that tilts a bit when the action heads into the corners. The crowd, which now has more frenzy, detail, and emotion when they rise up and pound the glass or celebrate a goal. On some replays, the crowd would fly up, blocking the camera and animating uniquely and passionately. Next up, player detail is much better than anything seen before. Lighting and how it falls down from a player's helmet looks good, as well as the sweat on players' faces. To be fair, all of these skaters still have a bit of a computer man look to them, but actually seeing Captain Serious Jonathan Taves modeled correctly is a treat. There's also player interactions on the bench, which look pretty good. Overall, some faces aren't spot on, but they're much closer than they were before. Obviously, we saw that with the Datsuk in the trailer. Celebrations look like you actually scored a goal, so there's a little bit more passion in it. Puck goes in and out of the net much smoother, which is good. The net camera angle looks very real, apparently, from the inside of the net, and the ice looks very good as the period goes on, with cuts and then like powder forming on top of the ice. Alrighty, the next thing is the NBC broadcast. So apparently the flyovers of arenas look really good, much like FIFA. Mike Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk look really neat inside of the game. I know they recorded them in front of a green screen. However, apparently, I mean, they said they couldn't really hear because it was very loud, but the commentary apparently sounded a little behind the play, which is a little bit worrisome, but I mean, there's still time to fine-tune that, hopefully. Okay, in terms of gameplay, so the whip of the stick on wrist shots feels different, quicker release, and more direct. Some good post shots that deflected in the net. The demo may have been set to a lower difficulty, they think, but they're not 100% sure. Overall, shooting and passing felt good, so that's why they said it might have been a lower difficulty. But still, some old goalie dives and missing the puck and having tap-in goals, but very few instances of that. They said there were some kind of like old, almost NHL 14 like mishaps, but not a ton, so that's kind of promising. Alright, so next up we got puck physics. Apparently this has been the big feature they've been working on. So the puck carries much different. There's a lot of lower bounces and more realistic deflections, which creates different scenarios and unique scoring chances, which sounds really good. The puck didn't bounce wildly, which thank God. But other than that, it seems the puck physics are looking pretty solid so far. Okay, next up. So offensively, the game feels crisp and interesting, full of energy and diversity. There's a variety of shots, goals, hits, which make everything a little bit more dynamic. The skating feels really nice. Exploding by defenders felt sweeter with a nice goal. However, that kind of worries me about the defense. And the new physics meant passing in certain plays just won't work even if you force it. So when you try and force it through, you know, sticks or players, sometimes, obviously a lot of the time in NHL 14 would go through. I think that's what they're talking about, so hopefully that actually carries through, because that was one of the biggest frustrating things for me. Alright, one of the other big touted things this year is going to be the 12-player collisions. So basically, it seems fine, not as dramatic as it has been talked about. There are entertaining pile-ups and trips in front of the net. Players no longer run into the visible goalie wall, which is kind of cool. Hitting seems to be dialed down, which is great. Hitters would fall to a knee, and hits weren't as ridiculous. And hitting doesn't result in a fight as often, thank God. Okay, so next up is Vision AI. So this is like the new AI they're trying to work with. Basically, they said it was kind of hard to tell, though, because you were playing humans constantly. You weren't playing just the computer. But basically, they showed slides, I guess, and there's vision cones for each player. And players will judge all scenarios and passing lanes and make the correct play. I guess we've kind of heard this already, but like I said, they said it was hard to test as most of the gameplay was against another human, so you can't really tell how the AI was going. But, I mean, it sounds promising, and hopefully we don't have the backwards play that we had before. Okay, so this is the part on defense. Now, I'm kind of worried about this, but so basically it felt mostly how it was in the past with strafing and puck chops. However, there is a slightly deeper poke check animation, so that's kind of promising. The back skating seems about the same, and the poke checking seemed dialed up in the demo. But players appeared to hold their positions better on rushes and controlling the gap on point plays. So I think that's more of like the AI defense. So hopefully that's good, because man, that was a big another frustrating thing with the defense kind of pinching or not holding the gap or anything. You know, they'd be way out to lunch. So I'm kind of hopeful, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, so at the end of the article, there's a lot of quick hit notes from talking to the producers. So there will be a demo, we just don't know when it will be. Ray Ferraro is modeled in the game, contrary to some reports, and Rammer confirmed that they'll place him in the correct spot for each arena down at ice level. Ferraro will be brought in throughout the season to record new audio, so that's kind of cool. Each team will have several intros from the main commentary duo, and EA is switching things around occasionally to help certain intros feel different by removing and adding screens, info, etc. There are new celebrations after goals, both in terms of user input and the replays. There were no 5-man celebrations yet, but some producers claimed that they were working on celebrations right now, and that there would be at least some 3-man huddles, and you can see that obviously some of the things, and you can see the whole line skating towards the bench after a goal, which looks good. Benches have multiple coaches and backup goalies sitting in the right spot, which looked great. When specifically asked about manual goaltending, a producer told me that it's still being tweaked, in quotes. Board play and fighting seems roughly the same, but the fidelity of the game adds a different feel to both situations, for the better, they said. Less fighting from big hits, kind of said that, which is good. The poke check animation seemed different, with deeper lunge, which we already knew. The 4 officials on the ice are live at certain points, as the ref on multiple occasions actually blocked a shot when drifting in front of the net, which is a bit worrisome. So I don't know. It might be good, might be bad. Hopefully they dial it down or can fix that. That said, I don't know if the officials are always live, as the producer said they mainly try to get out of the way. So are they live? Maybe, for the most part, but who knows. The puck bounces in and out of the net, obviously, and it looks good. The game uses a now familiar EA menu system like FIFA 14, UFC, etc. It's kind of like the blocky look where you can kind of move around. The goalie stance appeared about the same, but I'll be honest that I can't be sure. I'll double check this, so I guess we'll find out. Hitting doesn't cause fights as often. We knew this. It says, as EA realized it was tuned a bit high last year. Players who slide on the ice will get ice powder on their jersey, so that's kind of neat. The game will be at 60 frames per second at launch, and they weren't talking modes, but the implication seemed to be that HUT, EA SHL, and all the usual suspects would be in the game. So there it is. I guess we'll find out some more information from E3, hopefully. Again, the release date is September 9th as of right now. We don't know the demo, if there is one, but yeah, that's some notes of actual hands-on gameplay. We haven't seen any gameplay, so I apologize. But yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more NHL 15 news. And we'll see you guys next time, alright? Thanks for watching, guys!